The moment Brad opened the door, he felt his entire world pause. His blind date, Megan, stood on the porch with a nervous smile, clutching her purse like she was steadying herself. Her cheeks were flushed from the cold evening air, but that wasn't what stunned him. It was her voice, soft, shaky, and almost apologetic, when she whispered, "I'm so sorry, but my kids are in the car." Brad's hand froze on the doorknob, his heart dropped. Kids? He hadn't been expecting that. He hadn't been expecting any surprises tonight. He had cleaned the house twice, prepared a homemade meal, and hoped, maybe for the first time in years, that he might finally meet someone who understood him. Someone who knew what it was like to be a single parent. Someone who didn't see his responsibilities as baggage. But now, he wasn't sure what to think. Before we get into the story, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment if you enjoy heartwarming stories like this one. Your support helps us grow our community here at your channel name, where we share inspiring stories every week. Brad stepped onto the porch, trying to shake off the shock. "You have kids?" he asked gently. Megan nodded, her eyes darting toward the car parked by the curb. Through the tinted window, Brad could see the outline of two small heads in car seats. "I didn't plan to bring them," she said quickly. "Their babysitter canceled last minute. I didn't want to cancel on you too, but I understand if that's too much." Her voice cracked on the last word, and something inside Brad softened. Too much. He knew that feeling well. He had been told he was too much responsibility more times than he cared to remember. "No," he said quietly. "It's not too much. Let's go meet them." Megan blinked, like she didn't expect that answer. She whispered, "Really?" Brad smiled and nodded. "Really?" They walked together toward the car. Inside were two small kids, a shy 5-year-old girl named Lily, and a 2-year-old boy named Noah, who had a pacifier in his mouth, and a stuffed dinosaur in his lap. Brad tapped gently on the window and waved. Lily hid her face behind her hands at first, but peeked through her fingers, giggling. Noah stared at Brad, then the dinosaur, then Brad again, like he was silently deciding if this tall stranger was safe. Megan looked embarrassed. "I promise they won't be any trouble. We can just get coffee somewhere quick." Brad shook his head. "No way. It's cold and they're tired. Let's all go inside. I made dinner." Megan looked stunned. "Are you sure?" "Positive." For a moment, she just looked at him like she was seeing something she hadn't expected, kindness she hadn't received in a long time. Inside the house, things were awkward, messy, and chaotic. Instantly. Noah wanted down, then up, then down again. Lily clung to her mother's leg like she might float away if she let go. And Brad's dog, Max, a golden retriever with the emotional maturity of a toddler, began sniffing everyone like it was Christmas morning. But Brad didn't mind. Actually, he felt at home. "You have kids too, right?" Megan asked as she tried to untangle Noah from the dog. "Yeah," Brad said with a bittersweet smile. "My son Jacob has 8, but has spending the weekend with his grandparents." Hearing it out loud always created an ache in his chest, a reminder of divorce, custody schedules, and the quiet moments when his house felt too big and too empty. Megan nodded slowly. "So you get it." He did, more than she knew. Dinner was simple pan-seared chicken, garlic mashed potatoes, and steamed broccoli. It wasn't fancy, but it smelled good. And even Noah, who Megan warned was a very selective eater, happily chewed on the broccoli tops while waving the stems around like flags. Lily eventually warmed up to Max, who gently dropped a slobbery tennis ball at her feet until she finally tossed it. Her shy giggle filled the living room like sunlight. Megan watched her kids with a mix of love and worry-love because they were her whole world, and worry because she felt guilty bringing them along. "Thank you," she whispered at the table when the kids were distracted. "I know this isn't how a first date is supposed to go." Brad chuckled softly. "And who made those rules? Parents like us live in a different universe. One where dinner means microwaving chicken nuggets at the speed of light before someone cries." Her laugh, quiet and relieved, caught him off guard. It had been a long time since Head heard someone laugh like that across his table. After dinner, the kids wandered into the living room with Max trailing behind them like a furry babysitter. Brad and Megan stepped into the kitchen to wash dishes together. It felt strangely natural, two tired adults shoulder to shoulder, rinsing plates and wiping counters, sharing stories about tantrums, school meetings, sick days, and the silent battles single parents fight alone. At least once a week, Megan said, "I wonder if I am doing any of this right." Brad handed her a towel. "I wonder that every day." She looked at him, really looked at him. "That makes me feel a little less alone." Brad swallowed, feeling a warmth spread in his chest. "I'm glad." A crash in the living room interrupted them. They ran in to find Max guilty-faced and wagging his tail over a knocked-over bowl, while Noah proudly pointed at him like he had solved a crime on a TV show. The chaos, it made both adults laugh harder than they'd laughed in a long time. When it was time to go, Megan gathered the kids' jackets, toys, and all the mysterious items toddlers seemed to produce out of thin air. At the doorway, she hesitated. "Brad, I need to say this. Tonight meant a lot to me. I'm used to people getting overwhelmed when they realize I have kids. I don't blame them. Life is messy. But you didn't even hesitate." Brad shrugged, embarrassed but honest. "Someone once told me kindness is what you give when you wish someone had given it to you. I know what it feels like when people judge your life instead of understanding it." She nodded slowly, eyes shining with gratitude. "I'd like to see you again, if you want." Brad smiled. "I'd like that too." At that moment, Lily tugged on Brad's sleeve. "Can Max come next time?" Brad kneeled. "He'll check his schedule." Lily giggled and ran to the car. As Megan buckled the kids in, she turned back one last time. "Thank you for opening your door," she said softly. "But thank you even more for opening your heart." Brad watched as her car pulled away, the taillights glowing in the quiet street. He knew life wasn't suddenly perfect. He knew dating as a single parent was complicated. But he also knew something else. Something simple, powerful, and unexpectedly beautiful. Kindness had created a chance at connection, a chance at healing, a chance at something new. In life, the greatest moments often begin with small acts of kindness, a warm dinner, an open door, a gentle understanding of someone's struggles. Brad and Megan didn't find perfection that night. They found something better, a reminder that kindness can break fear, soften loneliness, and create hope where it once felt impossible. So the next time you have a chance to be kind, take it, because you never know whose heart you might open, and you never know what beautiful story might begin because of it.